And we're back. It's not like is any consistency on what I'm recording or how I'm doing this. It's just nonsense either way. But I don't even know what episode this is. It's really just whenever I feel like doing it or have the mental capacity to get through 45 minutes of saying whatever the fuck crazy shit has come to my mind in the last. Try to do it every week, I guess. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't ever happen. At least I try to get one out every month, but that's even a failure at that point. What's going on? I don't think my social media really knows what the fuck's going on or knows what I am. I don't use Instagram anymore. I think a lot of social media stuff's probably dying. I could be completely wrong about that. We're just hitting a new transitional period in life. What the fuck could be possible? But I don't use it. But the one I use Pinterest, I guess, like every basic white chick. I probably use it for the same reasons, but like the guy versions, like I think I have backyard concepts, cool house designs, for whatever random future that I think I might have. Like that's a possibility, and then it's like cool artwork. It's a really just like Henry S. Thompson-esque artwork of like it's a lot of his like stuff that are inspired by his work or like Rick and Morty or like stoner stuff. That's what a lot of it is, and then gym workout equipment. Like workout and gym ideas. It's not like it's a complex thing, but it's like every time I get flooded with all of it, I'll get a ad for like a wedding ring or something, and I'm like, I don't think, or it gets a basic bitch like a quote that for a woman who's like trying to be inspired, or like you see them on like in every Midwest family's home decor. It's like I don't know. I don't think you really know the vibe I'm trying to go for. You can't go from melting brands like Rick and Morty, Family Guy, Simpsons, and then just go to here's a wedding ring. In case you're looking, man. It's like I'm not in that point in my life. There's a couple other hurdles that I think I gotta jump through to even get myself leveled in that plane, but I think it's pretty far fetched. I am the most single man that you'd probably meet right now, and I can't imagine just being like, yeah, a wedding ring's totally on the books. Like, no, it's not. What the fuck do you mean it's on the books? I don't think you're reading. I don't think the Google ads and stuff are really reading me correctly. Sometimes they get a good one and it's like workout equipment or something, or like they get me and I'll buy it. Like I think the closest thing is like the Noble workout stuff. I've been hooked on that. Tom Brady didn't get me into it. I was been a fan. I'm gonna die on this hill. But I was been working this stuff, using this stuff since it first came out. I had the first gen shoes. Now I just been rocking whatever the fuck I got. But my point is like maybe these ads don't know. They have all my data, but they can't fucking figure out shit. I don't think. If you think this single man who has it's all dog videos too. I don't know. I've got more problem. I got more shit going on with my animals than I do in my love life. You gotta approach a woman in the last 3-4 years to get in that route. I haven't done any of that. I've been struggling to figure out what to do with my life in the last 5 years. Well, 3 years, 2 years, 3 years. Yeah, so that's not even on the fucking books. But I just think it's wild. Like maybe, what is this trying to tell me? Is this a psyop? Is the government trying to manipulate us to start marrying more people and get us back our birth rates from declining? Maybe. They've done psyops for dumber. Honestly, if this was a psyop for that, I would be on board. They've done psyops for crazier shit. To think that they won't do one to just push our youth into a more encourage them to all get married and have kids. Totally possibility. They've seen the other issues that are happening in other countries that are having problems with their birth rate. So maybe it's a thing. I wouldn't be opposed. I think it's actually kind of a creative concept. Good idea. Try it out. See if it works. Honestly, I think it might be working a little bit. Because I don't know how much of these birth rates are a problem. Like, the birth rate decline is a problem. Because you got the way... I get... Declining birth rates are an issue. And then we're having less and less people go on dates and do this whole relationship stuff. I think it's a product of the times. But it's one of those things where you look at how the world's shifting. And it seems like we're really cutting a crossroads of the new and the old. And it's not like the old is that old. It's just a different kind of concept, a different way of doing things and way of creativity to work its way out. I think there's going to be a boom. There's like a lot of fighting and people are getting mad about things, or like any new concept is like spiteful. And you look, and it's almost as if we've been through this before, and they fight it every time. People fight change every time. I get it. Change sucks, dude. Change is terrible. But when something new comes, we gotta have to embrace it and figure out why it's popular. To think that this is getting traction and you're seeing it and it hasn't crossed the eyes of millions of people already, that's absurd. People have already been looking at this shit for a while. But this is a side tangent. I don't even remember what I was talking about. Birth rates and stuff like that. I don't know. You see the birth rate decline, and then you get worried. And you're like, there are people who are not having kids. We're having an issue. But it's like complex. It seems like it's more of a complex thing. It's like I'm stuck. I'm like I'm at an age where people are getting married. This is kind of where I'm coming from. It's like I'm at an age where people are getting married. I've seen a bunch of people get married. I've been to like 4 or 5 weddings in the last 2 years. And someone's always been getting proposed. It could be a mix of just people, like it's the thing where people wanted to get due and they're still stuck in that mindset, or it's this it's clear that people still want to get married. And the fact that it's still something that people are wanting to do, I think it's gonna like change how we see the world. Like not change how we see the world, but I think it's gonna make a big shift. Because you had for the entire time I was growing up, a lot of people were like, they had a bad taste, I think, on marriage and stuff like that. And you see nowadays, like a lot of people it's almost like people are excited about weddings. People are excited that these people are getting married. People are excited that there's love in the world. It's just different. And if you're not in that world, you don't see these people. Maybe it's just my echo chamber, and that's kind of the stuff that I've been getting fed. I don't know how I would have ended up in this echo chamber. I don't even approach a woman on my fucking free time. I should probably be more open and be more accepting and go out there and do things and yada, yada, yada. That's a whole different beast that I've been trying to figure out, and whether or not I should deal with that at all. But I digress. It's one of those things where, what are people going to do? It's inevitable. It's like it's a human instinct. People want to settle down, start a family, have kids. But I also get the other side. It's like it's hard. We're not living in the best economic time to do this. But then you beg the question, it's just, when is it going to be ever a good time? These are the cards you're dealt. What kind of life do you even want to try to have? It doesn't matter what's going on in the outside world. It's trying to matter how you can survive within it. Standards, things aren't ever going to be okay. Things aren't going to be ideal. Nothing's ever been ideal for anything. Because that's the argument I get from a lot of people who don't want to have kids. It's just, we're not in a good time. You can imagine raising people in this world right now. I don't have kids, so I can't weigh in. I just have friends who have kids, and I have people who are starting that family route. I just see what's going on. And I keep hearing, maybe it's a fucking fear-mongering thing. I don't fucking know anymore. Everything's just so convoluted and confusing that nothing ever fucking makes sense. And you hear both sides, and you hear the evils, and then you start to realize that there's issues everywhere. And the fact that anybody dies on one hill, why? Why die on one hill? I get we have a tribal mentality as people, but we should probably not fixate on this so much and not worry about it in a crazy way. Maybe we should just live our lives and do it in the best way we can. I just don't ever understand that argument when they weigh in and say, "Oh, don't you see how the world's working?" I'm like, the world's not. The world's gonna be fucked up either way. And I don't know what to tell you. I think we've had this argument in every portion of the generation, every portion of the world. Every time there's a new generation, every time there's a new segment of culture, every time there's a new thing going on, every time it's new, people get fringed upon it, get scared of it and nervous, and they want to find any reason on why it could be bad. But the crazy part is none of this has happened before. We haven't done this at all ever. This is new. This is a new culture. Yes, we're shifting back to ways that we once had, but we're not doing the same shit we used to do. We're in a different world now. And we're living to live within that world. And it's this constant back and forth. I'm tired of all this shit. Like, I'm tired of just everybody at each other's throats and being mad and frustrated. Nobody wants to come to a common ground and look at the other perspective. It's blowing my mind. It's not just in politics. Like, dude, fuck that. I'm so frustrated and overdone with politics at this point in my life. I have gone through. I'll still see it and how things are going because it's the society I live in. But at this point, I think it's oversaturated everything. You look at the South Park episode they did. I think it was actually. They're not getting as much coverage as they used to, but it's probably one of the episodes that I think should have had the most coverage. Instead of the one with Donald Trump having a little penis. Because I think that's actually a staple point of how everything's going right now. The fact that they were like, remember, I want to go back to the good shit. When we get politics out of this. Like, yeah. Make the stupid jokes. Do the stuff that we're supposed to be. We made original. Don't fall into the tribe. Like, no one wants to sit here and argue about politics because that just starts to make everybody's blood boil at this point. I think we should have common ground and understanding of how things are going, but not. I'm not worried. I'm worried. I don't know. I think it's all. We're gonna hit a point. Either the middle gets so frustrated. I think this is. I don't even know. I think we're just done. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm at this point where it's like if I weigh in on the side again, it's just there's gonna be a reason on why to do something else, but then you look at everything that's going on, and you're like nobody wants to meet in the middle. Everybody feels like they need to take a side. Why are we taking a side? Why can't we just laugh at what the fuck's going on? What are the issues? Everything seems so crazy right now. Seems so polarizing on what the fuck's going on. That you want to act like that it's a good choice. Because it infringes on the other idea and you win. That was a crazy thing. It's because what was it? The Prop 50 thing when that was getting voted on and the Mamdani thing. I remember when Mamdani got voted, this week? Mamdani got voted as the mayor of New York. And then the Prop 50 thing passed for California. And you see people go, we won. We stuck it to MAGA. I'm like, why are you sticking it to MAGA? Why are we choosing this as a team thing? I didn't realize we picked squads. I thought we had to do this together as Americans, not like, hey, fuck you, dude, did my thing. I was like, maybe we shouldn't. Maybe we should figure this out. There's other things going on. I think we should all put away our differences and actually work on the issues instead of worry about the fact that this guy's making this much money or this guy is doing this. And it's like the fact that the guy got to that position of power for a reason. He made that much money. He was an entrepreneur. He went through the system. Some people do. Some people don't. But it's... I don't know. It's so... Honestly, it's all confusing right now. Nothing makes sense. And people act like they win when things get gerrymandered and we get lied to and they act like they're in the right. And then you look at it, it's like, do you understand why he's crazy and what he ruins? What everything gets broken down for? Do you see what's going on? Or are you guys just all online? To be fair, this is me recording something for the internet, but I honestly think this is YouTube and Pinterest, where that thinks I'm a fucking 25-year-old woman that might be getting married soon. Like, it doesn't make sense. Nothing in this world makes sense. It feels like everything is all over the place. And we struggle to find a common ground in anything because everybody wants to be right. I struggle with this too. I want to be right about things, but I think we should figure out what to do about it, not die on a point because you want to be right, or because you think your way is the right way, or because there's some grand mystical thing that might fix all issues or fix all problems. I don't know. Again, this is something that we won't. The problem, I think, we're such in a very changing time that by the time we get out of the 20s and get into more the 2030s, it's going to be people said, like, I think it's just going to change. Society is going to change. Like, we feel it. I think we're going to be, because I know I made a prediction a while ago that country music's going to be booming, and it's what I hear on the radio when I'm at work every day. It's like every country song that was like coming up when they like it was like coming up in the charts, like that musicians were coming and finding, and then now they're on the radio, and you're like, interesting. Like artists like Shabuzi, and I forget Elaine, what's her name, and I don't know. I think that people lose their mind. People forget that shit happens. No, that's not what I'm saying. There's like a bunch of thoughts like in my head split in like different directions. But the point I was trying to make is culture is changing right now. It's been changing for a while. And I remember talking about this like 2-3 years ago. Like, culture's changing. Whether we want to accept it and where the world's going, that's a completely different story. Right now, it seems like nobody really wants to accept that things are changing. They all want to fucking fight tooth and nail and say that they're right. But everything gets crazier before everything kind of shakes out. Like, we're in the crazy part of it. We're in this wild, bizarre take on how we're going to end up. And whatever that chain of events become, whatever we get to after all this, I hope it's for the better. I hope our society can figure it out. Because there's a lot of people who are like distressed and don't know, and it's so wild to me. Because we're still like there's a lot of podcasts that talk about like mental health for men and stuff like that, and I do think it's something that people need to address. I've just seen a lot of guys who have like fallen off the face of the earth and had these issues to where they've been manic depressed and can't really recover, or they find themselves losing. And then again, I get that you get this argument back always. It's just they're men, they should pull themselves up. It's just, or when they get shamed for showing up for the guys, and you're like, no, it's like they don't feel like they can talk. It's not like women. Women will talk. They'll talk about whatever. They just need someone to listen. But I think a man needs to be able to feel like they can talk. Feel like they're allowed to say something. Because I don't know. I think with the internet and how things have shifted, they kind of got pushed to the wayside, and they forgot that they need to be brought up too. We shouldn't just shift one over the other because you think one has had it for too long and then cut stuff that's already been helping people to stay off the streets. It's absurd to me. I do think there's an issue. And I get it. Women have depressive tendencies too, and they've fallen into issues. But if you're looking at suicide rates and you're pointing out that the fact that the men are the highest for suicide rates and is close to female breast cancer, and I just don't know how we look at those facts and just say that they should pull them up by the bootstraps. Because that argument, it always, like, they'll figure it out. They're men. They should just go talk to somebody. Do you know how that is for someone, for a guy? It's not like a woman who just, like, they communicate in words or the most fluent thing out of their mouth. Some guys just don't talk. Like, they'll sit and there will be times where they just don't have a conversation. They just sit and relax. Yeah, it's nice. But it's one of those things where you can't not help them. I get it. There's been disadvantage in this world. Are there as much now? I don't honestly know. No, it's not. So let's not keep standing on that crutch and just treat everybody equally. I don't give a I'm honestly on the perspective, like, I don't really care who you are, what you've done, where you've gone through, we'll give you, like, let's just treat you with respect. You got your own battles that you have to fight, and we'll help you. People should be able to be helped as much as they can. But at some point, you have to fight the war yourself. You have to get up on your own. And I get this point is probably counterintuitive to what I was saying earlier about how we should probably help them. But you can't just help a bunch of people and then not help another group. That's actually discrimination. I get it. I understand that we're trying to right some wrongs that people have done. But at some point, we shouldn't just be rewriting wrongs because things are crazy. We should actually be trying to make things better for everybody. And not just discriminate against because you've had it for too long. That's not how this works. They're different people. They might have the fucking legacy, but they don't have the personality. They weren't the ones that did it. So let's relax. Let's relax a little bit. Let's relax. But I'll sidetrack. I think the biggest thing. Not the biggest thing. I'll sidetrack. What else? There's not even any easier. It's like, it's not even any better. The next thing I was going to talk about was the government shutdown. And because I think it goes back to I think people think they're divided. Everybody's trying to fight a war. If you watch the interview with some of these congressmen who are sitting there talking about how we're in a government shutdown and it's all Trump's fault and stuff like that, it's like, you're not willing to meet at the table. None of you are. So you're just going to let everything burn out because you guys have enough money to actually withstand this issue? No, that's not cool. That's not for the people. That's not for anything. You're trying to help people and you're trying to die on issues. We're going to have to put shit aside and throw things out because that's how you're going to have to make a deal. There's certain shit that's just going to have to happen. You don't get everything. Nobody should be getting everything. And if you're going to die on an issue and you're going to cause problems within the entire country because you can't figure out, because you think that you're so much in the right that this is what needs to happen. Issues are happening in the country. You're starting to have airports shut down. You're starting to question whether or not people are going to get food for the kid. There is issues within the government, yes, and we need to fix them. And we need to cut things. But you have to be able to make a deal. That's part of this. You have to come to the table and throw things in and take it out and act like you want to come to terms with something. You can't just die on a hill. I get the SNAP benefits are important. I get it's important to help feed everybody. I get it's important to make sure everybody has health care. I get it. But the issue, then we should be starting to ask other questions. We should start to be providing and implementing other concepts and ideas to help revolutionize what we're doing. Cut the funding, yeah, but bring in a new concept that might be cheaper or we can actually help everybody. That makes the profits work. Let's not overreact and act like this is the only thing that we can do or die. We've changed the system before. We can't change the laws of our country or what we stand for and what our people represent and get. But we can change how the system is being ran and operated. And it's almost like people forget about it. It's like, oh, we have this. It was implemented. This is what we got to work. Clearly, this shit is broken. It's fucked. There's issues in the entire thing. And we're going to act like this is the only way out. We've added this once. We'll add something again. The beautiful part of what we represent as a country is the fact that we can revolutionize, we can innovate and make things better. But it goes back to this thing. It's like, I feels like we're just stuck holding on to the old because we think this is how it should all work. That we think we have it all figured out. We think we know everything. I think it's honestly the most common theme you see throughout everything, from science to politics to art to fitness. Like, people are so confined to the concept that these ideas are right, that they have everything, they know it all. And when things get thrown at them with possibilities of new concepts and new ideas, people freak out. I don't know how we fix this. I don't know how we get people to be more accepting to the possibilities of what could happen, but you gotta it's almost like we have to get people to just be relax a little bit. For the love of fucking God, just relax. Let's see what happens. Let's not rush to the conclusion so quickly. Part of this might be because the internet kind of fucked the entire human brain up and short form content ruined our attention span, and the dopamine flows in our brain and just make us over and driven to having the next addiction. I don't know. There are plenty of issues that are going on in our society, and if we think that this is going to be the shit that we want to die on, dude, we can go fuck ourselves, because none of us wants to no one wants to make a move. I think at this point people should stop being worried about losing everything and just take the risks. The fact that we can't change anything also shows that none of us are risk adverse. None of us are willing to make the jump. And we're going to have to make jumps. We're going to have to take chances. We're going to have to change things. Clearly, there is enough built up stuff that I've been sitting on for a while. But it's all true. It's all, it's frustrating to me. It's so frustrating to me. I wish it wasn't. I wish we could fucking figure this out. I wish we can come to terms with shit. But that's not how any of this has worked in the last year. We got out of COVID. People have been pissed. People have been watching TikTok for fucking 2 years thinking they know the world and that they're doctors now. And now they're acting like that they're the know-it-alls and fucking can do it. That their hill's the one that they should die on. It's a lack of perspective. You can see it in people who have been on the internet for too long, because then when they get pushed back against ideas, they almost want to stab the dude. They're like, nah, you're wrong. Like, maybe not. So let's relax, George. Let's not freak out too bad before we figure out what the fuck's going on. It's something. I don't know how it gets fixed though. It's almost somebody has to come in that everybody likes, that can meet at a center ground and be willing to open the mind of the individuals without getting shot. So I don't know. It's one of those things where you kind of hope we can figure it out and flesh out all the issues. And come to I just think we've had so many question marks and blunders and frustrations over the years that nobody really wants to do anything. The people that probably can make the best change are too scared to even act, and the people that want to act are too crazy to really do the fucking thing. We're not qualified enough to actually do it. Yeah. Let's see if I can end this on a happy note. All that just seems so fucking just demonic. Not demonic, but it's wild. It's wild. I don't know. It's one of those things where you're just, I don't know what the fuck's gonna happen. I don't know. No one knows. Nobody knows. It's, yeah. Well, flying is gonna be a joy now. I hope everybody got their pre-check for TSA, so they can fly through the lines and maybe get their flight canceled now because, government shutdowns not letting flights fly now. We're all fucked. Probably not that fucked. We're probably fucked. I don't know. It seems like every point in life is, I don't know, it's killing people. Every decade, there's always an issue. There's always some kind of issue. I think this is just the issue that I think my mic was fine the entire time, and now I just want to wreck it. We'll see. I think that's all we can do. I was going to try to end this on a happy note. I don't know. I have to sort through a bunch of articles. I don't have anything on the top of my head. But I don't know what's going to happen. Or else, I think we have to just wait for this fucking shit to pan out. It's going to take us a couple of years. And I don't think anybody wants to sit through those years. I think that's the big thing. They look at them as like, we thought we were in the good times, but the good times happened. Now we're in a different world completely. We're in a different kind of life. We got to figure out how to live within that. Like, America's been one way for so long, and people still think that we're doing the right thing. It's very... Nobody's ready. Nobody's ready. Nobody knows what's going to happen. And I think everybody's going to be scared when the shit actually does happen because they aren't really... Everybody's still trapped in their own bubble. They have their own lives. They've developed their own things over the years. And now things are changing, and you're scared. I'm scared too. I don't know what's going to happen. I think you could easily predict how things are going to go. Things have not been the most stable, but they haven't been such big question marks. Like they've been, everything seems like it's been at a boiling point for so long, and now it's about to tip over. Because it's just about getting to that point. Tensions are just rising. People are getting fed up. I'm curious how this is going to go. Because you look at the past, like every decade has kind of had their big mile markers. Like the 60s, like the JFK, it's Woodstock, the hippie evolution. Like the 20s were like the God, I can't remember that word right now. But in the 20s, like underground bars, and you had flyers or like chicks in like the spraggly dresses and stuff like that, and you just had wars that revolutionized decades to the past, and now and nobody knows what decade this is or how this is going to look in the future. And it's interesting to think about kind of like where it fits in its history, because even the early 2000s was like defined by like women's movement, freedom, free the tit and shit like that, and it's just gonna be interesting because every past pop culture event and like how that society was working kind of, it was like the reason why it flipped and progressed the other way. Like we were very left wing for a while and very accepting all, and I think we should, but I think it's probably gonna flip because people are tired of seeing it all the time, not because people are gonna be less accepting, just because they don't want it to be in their face, be like everything in their face. I think they're trying to live through a society. It's just like to live through a society, to have a normal life, and it feels like everything has just been like genderfied or politicized or in some way has been shaped to like have an issue behind it when it shouldn't. Like not everything is Not everything is a problem. Some things are just life. Some things are just how they are. And not everybody's trying to attack somebody. Sometimes they're just having, like, they have life. And I think we should all look at what's going on. Like, why things are why are these things happening? Why are we in this situation? And not just be like, blame somebody because they're polarizing. Blame somebody because they're the ones that have the issue. It's all perspective, yes, but it's one of those things where is the juice really worth the squeeze? But people would say, yeah, people think it can be. I think this is all the steam I got. I'm just happy I got some of it done. 35 minutes. Not too bad. Not too bad. I had to rant, though. I didn't know what else to talk about. I had some things written out, like, for what I would say. Was it Gavin Newsom running for president? Also dropping regulations on it. Dude, that's crazy. Why are we dropping This is probably the last thing we'll talk about. We got, like, 4 minutes. Regulations on AI. This is part of the other crazy thing. Why are we dropping regulations on this thing? We should. Why? Because companies are leaving. It seems like that's kind of the move he's made. Like, he's dropping regulations for AI companies to come to the California. But he has so many regulations and other factors of corporations that's why people are leaving. Like, manufacturing's leaving, farms leaving. Like, you get in and out that left, what, a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, because they were tired of the fucking issues. That's crazy. They were a staple point of California. And now you're acting like, oh, you're the big dog. But companies are leaving. And then you're dropping regulations to deny safety concerns for an AI robot that you don't even know how this fucking tech works. Because if you were dropping the regulations for this issue, then you wouldn't be dealing. Then you wouldn't be doing it if you understood the outcome possibilities. I get it. You're trying to save the state, but just step down, man. Step down. Your slick back hair is not fooling anybody. You look like a snake. You actually look like, what is it? You look like the dude from Slytherin in Harry Potter. What's it? Professor Snape. Draco Malfoy. That's who you look like. You look like an older version of Draco Malfoy, trying to figure out how to cast a spell. Let's think things through. Let's just do that. That's not. Like, there's already so many question marks for this tech that's only been around for a couple of years that we have issues with. We all rushed smartphones and female suicide rate in social media, and then the female suicide rate went up and self-mutilation rate went up dramatically for girls that were teenagers. So we're not going to act like there's probably going to be an issue. Why don't we take a step back? We're going to lose a lot of people if you just start pumping this shit out into society. So my perspective, take a step back. Let's take a look what's going on. Let's re-roll the dice. We don't got to keep shaking the boggle thing until everything's splattered all over the place. Let's be methodical. Let's not shake it like it's crazy shit. Because now you're just saying wild things and acting like you know what you're doing to see if you can fix the state, or like trying to, I don't know. It just seems not. You're not thinking it through. You're having other issues. You're. It's frustrating for me. I don't like the guy, so it's not that big of a. It's not. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, I'll end it with that. That's all I got. Hopefully, he can figure out. I hope he pulls it back. Honestly, if he was going to do anything, I think you should have stricter regulations on this AI, so we're not just creating something that we don't know what it is. There's already so many question marks about it. I think there was a whistleblower that came out saying Google's AI was starting to become aware, like self-aware. So maybe that's something we should look at and not just throw it in the fucking dumpster and be like, this is a good idea. But I don't know anything, man. I'm not that smart. It's just perspectives. It's just things I've seen in the world, and to act like I know anything that I'm talking about. That's not true. I've never read a book, so how would I know? I've never watched a documentary. I don't even know what a TV is. So don't listen to from me. I think we should all think on our own. It's probably something that's been really missing in this world. But that's all I got.